Hey, I wanted to show you some cool stuff. So when it comes to a tune like this, like Caravan, you got 12 bars of this C7 to D flat diminished. And instead of thinking about what I'm supposed to play over it, I want you to change your mindset and think, what can I play on it? Think of it as an opportunity, especially since you've got 12 bars, okay? You got to do something interesting. You can't just put, your typical C7 lick or D sharp, D flat diminished lick. Look at that, Caravan options. So if you go to this web app on my website, noeljohnston.com, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug in the notes for C7. You got a 1, a 3, and a 5. What it's doing is it's deleting any of the tonal options or scale options that that don't have those notes. Flat 7. And then the D flat diminished, according to C, the D flat is the flat 2, so I'll put it in flat 2. And you've already got this one, the flat 7, and the major third of C. It's the fully diminished 7th of D flat and the minor third of D flat. But anyway, that's what it looks like. So it's these notes in context, which makes sense with the melody. The melody is 1, flat 2, 1, 5, flat 7, and then major third. That's pretty much the essence of the melody. So we're just going to work with those 5 notes. Like, these are the 5 notes that we're going to kind of stick to. And you see you have all these sort of tonal options. There's it could be the 5 of F harmonic minor. That's probably the most common. Think of it as like a C Phrygian dominant. But there's a couple of harmonic major options. It could be the 3 or the 5 of harmonic major, which is a bit more of an exotic sound. I mean, it's already exotic to begin with, and then we have this these non-tonal options. We have half whole diminished and the tritone scale. Tritone scale, you could think is a subset of the diminished scale. So here's all 8 notes, right? But I do enjoy finding the subsets of that scale, like the 7-note options or even the 6-note options, because sometimes sometimes 8 notes is too much. You can kind of fine tune the sound a little bit with just a 7-note option. So let me show you one option that's not on this website, but I will add it. I just need to put it in the code. But so say we have 1. I'm going to write the notes of the diminished scale, the half whole diminished. So you got a 1, a flat 2. I'm going to label the next interval as a sharp 2, because you can't, anyway, that way it spells as a dominant scale. 3, and then you have a sharp 4 and a perfect 5th and a 6th and a flat 7. That's the half whole diminished. So you can see it fits C7 nicely. You can play a 13, you can play a 13 flat 9, you can play a 13 sharp 9. Mike Stern loves this chord. Now, if you take away the flat 2, And here's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to just, then it's a tonal scale. 1, sharp 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, flat 7. Now you have 7 notes. And you can treat it tonally, because tonal sounds have 7 notes. So you can figure out what the 1 chord is, the 2 chord is, and so on. In this case, it's a really interesting scale, actually. This scale is known as Hungarian major. Hungarian major. Joseph Schillinger also calls this one the blue scale, which is a super interesting name. And it kind of makes sense because you can play blues over it pretty nicely. Yeah. All right. Hey guys. Hey Nick. What's up, man? So what's cool about this scale, you can figure out what the 1 chord is, the 2 chord is, 3 chord is, so on. We can work this out together. So the 1 chord, it's going to be 1, 3, 5. If we just do triads. So we've got a C major triad as the 1 chord. The 2 chord is going to be E flat diminished because you have this one, a sharp 2, a sharp 4, and a sharp 4 and a 6, right? So E flat diminished triad. Diminished triads are super cool, by the way. It's the kind of a neglected fundamental, in my opinion, of guitar players. Now the 3 chord is I shouldn't have called this E flat. I'm sorry. It's a D sharp to be tonally correct. So D sharp diminished, and then the 3 chord is E diminished because it's got 3, 5, flat 7, and then the sharp 4 is another diminished. It's F sharp diminished. And the 5 chord is super interesting. Let's see. We have a G as the 5, a flat 7, which is B flat, and then a sharp 2, which is our... now, that's not really a G chord. We don't really label this G. Like, if we were to play these notes, we would think of it as a first inversion of an E flat major chord. So, like, if we were to label it G something, it'd look really super weird. It's a G minor sharp 5. So I'm just going to put G minor augmented, which is a super weird chord. So I'm going to just say it's E flat over G. That's what it is, like, when you play it. And then the 6th chord, we have an A, and then we have a C, and then an E. So that's just good old A minor, the regular 6. And the flat 7, here's another weird one. So the flat 7 is going to be B flat, and then you have the sharp 2, which is like a sus4, and then a sharp 4, sharp 4, which is okay. If you were to label it a B flat something, it would be B flat sus augmented, which is super weird, right? But it's just an E flat minor with a B in the bass. So I'm just going to say E flat minor over B flat. Did I say B? I meant B flat. So this is these are the tonal options for the blue scale or Hungarian major. So you got, if I were to do the 1 chord, the 2 chord, the 3 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, 6 chord, 7 chord, you go like this. Sounds cool, right? So what I'm doing is I'm flipping the inversions. Instead of going up the scale like this, I could do that. So 1, sharp 2 diminished, 3 diminished, sharp 4 diminished, 5, which is a really E flat major, and then A minor, and then we have this sus, B flat sus augmented. It would be this. Yeah. let's see. Let me do that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all root position. Now, sometimes it's really neat to practice these where you flip the inversion. So I'm gonna start with the root position up here, and then I'm gonna go to the second inversion of the 2 chord, and then the first inversion of the 3 chord, back to the root position. So Schillinger would call this, what did I do? Yeah, it's called counterclockwise. So I'm going, Mick Goodrick got this from Schillinger, in my opinion. So you go second inversion, first inversion. So it's going counterclockwise. And what I like about this method is it ensures you follow the rules of counterpoint without a negative. It's yeah, right on. It's a do this, not don't do this, don't do this. Okay, so you do this. Root position, second inversion, first inversion. So let's see what it sounds like over Caravan. So interestingly, this particular scale does not have the flat 2. So I'm just saying when we look at these options, these are our options, and I'm just making a subset out of one of the half whole guys. Okay, here we go. Or you can play any one of those or 2 triads. Like, say I decide to do C and D sharp diminished. So I like the sound of diminished triads as arpeggios, or just chords. How about this? I'll do these inversions of C triad and then inversions of D sharp diminished triad. Oh crap, what am I doing? D sharp, G sharp. Those ones. These 3 shapes are cool, right? You have this isosceles triangle that has the root in the melody. You have an equilateral triangle when the root is in the middle, and you have what I call a dog leg, kind of dog leg shape, right? When the root is on the D string. So let's see if I can go back and forth between those 2 triad shapes. See what that sounds like over this option, over these changes. I'll play them like a solo, you know. Kind of sounds bluesy, right? Maybe you can play blues when you're like trying to think of the next, like, you know, sometimes it's cool to have stuff in your muscle memory. That's the All right, so what if I do, I don't know, E diminished and F sharp diminished? Like this. That's kind of cool. Might work well as arpeggios too. Ah. triads are cool, right? All right, so let's abandon this 7-note scale and let's look at another option. So here's what I might do here. Check this out. This is kind of a cool program. I'm using a program on my iPad called Good Notes. You can do all these really cool things that I'm still discovering, like erasing. I'm going to make more room. You can do this. You can circle stuff you've already written, and you can check this out. You can move it. You can even shrink it. You know, pretty cool, right? Anyway, this is what I do in my class. I have this school or class called Creative Fundamentals. We meet every Monday night and Thursday night, and you're welcome to join if you'd like. I've got a link. You know, if you want to talk about it with me, that's fine too. Just reach out and, you know, or something. Anyway, well, hey everybody, some good comments there. Someone said even the mistakes sound fantastic. Well, I appreciate that. This app is called Good Notes. That I'm using on my iPad. All right, so let's look at another option. So another subset of the diminished scale, or the half whole diminished, that I really like is something called the tritone scale, right? Which is when you have two triads a tritone apart. You can think of it as a hexatonic scale, in 6 notes. So you have C and F sharp. This is a really interesting chord. So when you put the 5th of one of those chords in the bass, like say I have a C chord with a G in the bass, and if I can put this F sharp triad up top, you know, you got to figure out an interesting fingering. I basically fat finger those 2 notes, but that's a chord that Stravinsky was a fan of, and people have called it the Petrushka chord. So that's what I know it as, right? So this is a C, an F sharp over a C with a G in the bass. So I guess you would write it like this, like F sharp over C over G. Petrushka. Petrushka. And I've been told that Petrushka means parsley in Slavic language. Parsley chord, right? Now, if you know your triad shapes, you can put, you know, F sharp and C, F sharp, C, F sharp, C. That sounds really cool for this. If you know your triad arpeggios, which I love triad arpeggios. I mean, I love lots of stuff, but so you kind of dovetail C and F sharp. It sounds real cool. Let's try it over here. Yeah, and you could compose something like, you know, neat using those 2 triads. Like I did something. Let's see. I got those rhythms from my kid putting something in the fan and transcribing the rhythms. Now, instead of dovetailing the arpeggios, you can actually dovetail the notes as a scale. So you have this. So that would be the tritone scale. Now, if you start from the fifth of one of them, you know, in this case, the fifth of F sharp or the fifth of C, you know, I call it the Petrushka scale. So the Petrushka chord, Petrushka scale. Okay. So that's another option. The other let's look at the tonal options. So that's some subsets of the half whole diminished. What if we do stuff from harmonic minor, which would be probably a little bit more digestible, I think. Oh, someone said Severance has the Petrushka chord in it. Yeah, that music is really interesting. It's kind of minimalistic, but very, very effective. All right, so what if we do this? What if we decide that this is a 5 and this is a flat 6 of F harmonic minor? Then we can kind of go through our options for what is the one, you know, what does it sound like with a 1, with a 2, with a 3, with the 4, with the 5, with the 6, and the 7. So we could kind of do that with, you know, the triads of F harmonic minor. We've got F minor for the 1, we have G diminished for the 2, we have A flat augmented for the 3, B flat minor for the 4, C for the 5, D flat major. I'm going to put an asterisk next to this because this one's an interesting one. The flat 6 is super interesting. And then 7, it's going to be E diminished. Let's see, did I make any mistakes? Now, D flat has some interesting enharmonic equivalent notes. So if you look at if you know the names of the scales, of the modes of harmonic minor, the flat 6 is known as Lydian sharp 2. So you have 1, sharp 2, 3, sharp 4, 5. Now that sharp 2, you can voice that in lieu of the 3, in which case you get a D flat minor. And similarly, you can voice the sharp 4 in lieu of the 5, and you get this diminished, so you can play D flat diminished over it. You can also do that to the 4 chord too. The 4, the B flat minor, it's a Dorian sharp 4 is the name of that mode. So you can voice the sharp 4 in lieu of the 5, and then you get this B flat diminished. So now look what you have. You have a diminished on the 2. You can play diminished on the 4. You can play diminished on the flat 6 and the 7. There's 4 of them, and it makes sense, right? Because you know that you could have done this anyway. Like if you turned it into diminished sevenths, and just 3 out of the 4 notes, you got just the triads. So if I pick 2 triads, I don't know. Let me do B flat diminished and D flat diminished. How about that? What would that sound like over here? So we have a D flat diminished here, and B flat diminished, and then maybe D flat diminished. It's a little more like focused than just blending it all together as a diminished 7th thing. Although you can do that, do your Yngwie thing, you know. I love that stuff. But, you know, diminished triads are fun too. Now, what if I pick 2 major triads, or I don't know, 2 other triads, like if I do F minor and G diminished, just the 1 and the 2, what would that sound like? No. Make some cool melodies out of that. Kind of cool. How about G diminished and A flat augmented? So we can play G flat, and then augmented would be like this, and then G diminished, first inversion. By the way, that's a cool lick, right? And then you can go up to the augmented, G diminished, augmented. I think that would sound cool. I like that one. Like I said, you got 12 bars to fill up stuff in this tune, Caravan. So why not explore these cool options? Yeah. All right. So what if we do, I don't know, B flat minor and C? We've got B flat minor, C, B flat minor, C. This, I call this the Batman cadence. I don't know why. It just sounds like some of the older. I need to go back and check the old 90s Batman score, but I don't know. I feel like those two triads are in it. Mistake. Good way to practice your triads. You know, C, B flat minor, C, B flat minor, C. Yeah, it's fun, right? You got some cool options. Now, what if I choose? Let me go back to this Petrushka chord, which is another interesting one. So I kind of think this one is even more striking to me because the tune, you have 12 bars of this C, C7, D flat diminished, and then you get the payoff when it resolves to F minor. Now, if I'm kind of doing stuff in F harmonic minor, it's not as much of a surprise. It's not terrible, of course. When it resolves, it's very, very much expected. Now, if you do the Petrushka thing, it's very much a surprise when it gets to F minor. It's satisfying, but so I actually like to harmonize the melody with just C triads and F sharp triads. Tell me what you think of it. Yeah. So I'm just basically finding my triad shapes. C, F sharp, C, C, F sharp, C, 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 F sharp, C, F sharp, C, F sharp, C, and then a little chromatic G, you know, and the C to F sharp. And then I do this, just like diminished major sevens, like, is it A flat over A, you know, G sharp over A, down chromatically, and then resolves. Imagine if we give him 20 chords. Oh, the opportunity. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. Now, what happens if we maybe do these things as our accompaniment, and then we do this stuff as our melody? What's that going to sound like? I'm going to delete the little loop I did. Let's see if we can do this. So I'll go a 1 chord, a 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, 6 chord, 7 chord in Hungarian major, or the blues scale. So I'm going to do this. Maybe I might be able to do some some other inversions as an option. Like, then we've got let's see what that sounds like. I might need to piecemeal it together, but 2, 3, go. Nope. Oh, come on. Okay. I'm going to try and do some inversions as the accompaniment. Maybe I'll do like a C in the bass. So I'll do the melody with just C and F sharp. What do you think? What's weird is what if I do some of these arpeggios, like D sharp? That might be cool. You know, it's funny. You have this E flat major and E flat minor and E flat diminished, which is like super nasty, like bluesy. What if I play E flat blues over it. Or just C blues. I don't know, fun to explore. So, highly recommend getting a looper pedal. Man, there's some really cool comments. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can see what. Oh, there's a lot of comments. Okay. Reading this. I wish people spent more time on this superimposition stuff. So many guitar players can't vamp without changes. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this kind of concept where you figure out some cool stuff to do over like a single chord, like it's kind of common in like fusion players, right? Because they're used to kind of doing vamps. But you know, it helps even on like regular tunes, you know. Let's see here. What are the chords now? This is crazy. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? Oh man, there's some funny comments. All right, thank you. Yeah. So if you want to know the voicings I was doing spread triads over this. Like I was doing 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, 6 chord, 7 in this scale known as Hungarian major or the blues scale. So 1 chord, and I'm switching inversions, so you don't get consecutive intervals. You know? And then there's an E diminished, there's an F sharp diminished, there's an E flat, there's an A minor, there's an E flat minor. I should have said minor. E flat minor, and then finally C. And then I went to a different inversion. C, you know, started a higher inversion. D sharp diminished, E diminished, F sharp diminished, E flat over G, A minor, and then E flat minor, C. You could even do higher ones if you wanted to. No, like maybe this one. Let's see. I'm not as good at the really super tiny high ones, you know. Let's see. Crap. E flat major. Crap. Oh man. By the way, here's a little trick. If you can't like figure out your inversions, you know this one. Everyone knows this one. E flat major. Flip this one up 2 octaves, and it's another cool one you can play. Let's see. And then A minor, E flat minor, C. Anyway, I like spread triads. I think they sound cool. All right, one more time. I'll just make up stuff. Oops. Now the accompaniment is this specific sound. So if I switch over to F harmonic minor, I'm not sure if it's going to sound that good. And then F sharp. All right, that's enough. So, man, thanks for all the comments. Let me see if there's any comments that I need to answer. Yay. Well, yeah, man, I appreciate the very kind words, everybody. And please let me know if you want to join my class. By the way, we had Andy Timmons as our guest last week, and it was awesome. I think I posted it on YouTube, I think, at least like a duet we played Recordame. And I was amazed at how much fire that Andy puts in his jazz playing. Like, he doesn't like soften his approach. Like, he goes for blood no matter what style he's playing. I love that. Super inspiring. And it just takes a lot of confidence to be able to do that, right? So in my fundamentals class, we're working on a lot of triad shapes, both closed and spread triads, and also triad arpeggios, and also some theory stuff. But I think, what it really comes down to is you have to be so sure-footed on your instrument to be able to put that kind of passion into your playing. Yeah, thank you. So you saw that Andy, the duo with Andy. That's cool. Anyway, so yeah, mess with these options. If you want to know like the kind of stuff I've been doing in my class, let's see if I can find. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see here. Where is it? Let me find it. Yeah. I'm also working on this book that's going to have these fundamentals in it. So these are like closed triad shapes. And there's some etudes to master those closed triads. And then here's the triad arpeggio shapes that I favor. Minor arpeggios, diminished arpeggios. I'll give you a little sneak peek. These are the diminished triad arpeggios that I'm a big fan of. So you've got the root position. You notice it skips the B string. People freak out when they see diminished chords, especially guitar players, and they usually turn them into, they just turn them into just diminished sevenths, right? But like I said earlier, the diminished triads are more pointed, more focused, and they fit in more places. And they sound cool as licks. Like look at the first inversion. It's cool, right? It sounds real bluesy. You can use it over like a minor blues or a Dorian sound. Second inversion is real neat. It almost sounds like it could be like a cool piece of your vocabulary. It doesn't really sound like just a mere arpeggio, does it? And I kind of struggled with the fingering of this one, but here's what I'm doing. I'm doing root. The flat five has the index finger, and then the root has the second finger. But then I slide up to my third finger. And then I see that I'm kind of anchored to a chord shape in order to help visualize the destination of those notes. This is what I call the Jim Hall method, where you're Jim Hall, jazz guitar player. He kind of was, I think, the first guy in the history of jazz guitar where he really conceptually thought of chords and scales with the same part of the brain. And post Jim Hall, there's a bunch of guitar players who do it. Schofield does it, and Bill Frisell does it. Like it kind of makes it obvious, makes that part. So you aim for that chord. All right. I'm looking at the comments here. Which diminished scale over Caravan? Oh man. So there's like, okay. There's you'll probably have to go back and watch the beginning of the video because there's a lot of options. But yeah, it's cool. So anyway, these are the anchor shapes for some of the arpeggio shapes. The second one, the first inversion, I mean. I like this shape, and the other one I like this shape. So that's kind of handy to have. Anyway, giving away all my secrets right now. Augmented. Let's see. There's some spread triad shapes. Some etudes that use the spread triads and whatnot. Anyway, you can see there's a lot of blank pages because there's some stuff I'm going to put in there. But anyway, this is a work in progress. This is my Creative Fundamentals class book. Okay. Who said what? Where's those diminished triads? Yeah, diminished triads. Okay. Oh yeah, someone commented the second shape, as in the first inversion of diminished. Totally sounds like a James Brown, you know. Yeah, good ear. All right. Thanks for listening. Okay, see ya.